Welcome back to the show, Real Estate Radio with Damon Gettier of Damon Gettier and Associates Realtors, powered by Real. I'm Brett Sharp, his best friend that he never really hangs out with, but probably Jay's your best friend.
Did you see that fish I caught, by the way?
I did see that fish. I would like to be invited to your pond to go fishing with you sometime.
You know what I caught it on?
Something I taught you? Drop shot?
Nope.
Wacky rig?
Nope.
What?
Whopper plopper.
Whopper plopper. And where did you get that idea?
From, can't remember, maybe Brett Sharp.
That dude was a big fish.
I caught that thing literally, so I've caught two in the exact same place, literally 8 to 12 inches from shore, like right in front of me when I'm just getting ready to pull it out of water, both times. Like I caught
And it was in the morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only time they hit the whopper ploppers.
Is it?
Yep.
So that one, I didn't get a weight on that one.
Maybe pond is a little different.
I'm guessing he was about 6 pounds.
Jeez.
You saw DJ holding it, right?
I did.
Gargantuan. And then I caught one that was 3 pounds, 14 ounces.
Am I going to be invited out?
Yeah.
Because I'll teach you how to catch. Obviously, I don't need to.
Yeah.
Those whopper ploppers, though, man, those are like $12 lures. They're like that big, man. They're huge.
Yeah, but I mean, it's...
So back to real estate. You going to invite me out sometime?
Oh, I mean, you always have a standing invitation. You just rarely show up.
All right. So back to real estate. Let's talk about...
Don't need a boat.
I talk on my... Well, I don't have a boat. I sold my boat. I talk on my radio show about you making cash offers on homes. So as we're talking about the WFIR listener, does that pertain to them? Making a cash offer?
Quite possibly.
How?
So the reason we say it that way is because we know that statistically the WFIR listeners are a little more affluent than different radio listeners. But, everybody has situations. And, we buy a lot of houses from people that, have inherited a house. And
don't want to deal with the emotional aspect of it?
It's the emotional. It's also the stuff. Like at some point, it's like, what do I do with all the stuff?
Wait, you buy it with all the stuff in it?
Yeah, we bought multiple with all the stuff in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll do it a couple different ways.
That's kind of turnkey in a way. We'll just take care of it for y'all.
Well, I mean, like when someone passes, it's stressful. Like you got the emotional, which is one thing, and then you got the financial, which is another thing. But when you inherit a house, you inherit the house and all the possessions and everything. It's like, what do you do with it? And a lot of people, like, they want this and this from mom or dad, and then they don't want the rest of the stuff. And what I do with the rest of the stuff. And estate sales take god awful forever long, and they usually have the estate sale in the house. So you got 50,000 people going through the house again, and stuff comes up, and whatnot.
Stuff,
yeah. And we have been partnering with an auction company, Simmons Auction. They're out near my farm in Manita, and Shannon Simmons, really good guy. And we've been partnering with him, and they'll go out and get all the. What we do is typically the homeowner, whoever inherited the house, go through the house, get what you want.
Yeah.
Like get whatever you
Heirlooms
want, whatever. Yeah, whatever's a value to you or whatever you have sentimental value you want. Get that stuff out, and then Shannon will go with his guys, and they'll box everything up, take it to the auction, and then we buy the house. And so what they do at the auction
Are you like Filthy Fortunes?
So no, because we don't have any fortunes. He did find gold in one house, not one of ours, another one, but he called the homeowner and said, hey, look, I don't think you wanted me to get this, and gave him the gold. That was cool. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. Shannon's a good guy. Shannon's a real good guy. But, you can get the stuff, so you can get a check for whatever he sells at auction, and then the house is cleaned out, and then we buy the house.
It's Filthy Fortunes. Do you know this movie? Do you know this TV show?
No, I'm selling houses, not watching TV.
I know, sorry. This guy goes in and he goes, all right, here's the deal. And it's typically hoarders. It's mostly hoarders. He's like, is there anything worth value in the home? Because we're going to clean the home and it's going to cost $20,000 to clean it. And we're going to haul it all out. We're going to get rid of it. But we're going to take whatever's valuable, sell it, and give you 50% of whatever. And then we'll keep the 50% after the clean out part is taken care of. It's brilliant.
Okay, so we don't have, what's it called again?
Filthy Fortunes.
We don't do Filthy Fortunes. We help people.
Okay.
Well, because we don't.
It's a TV show.
Yeah,
too.
but we don't charge to clean it out, and neither does he. Like he's gonna make his percentage on the stuff that he sells, and then we get a roll off dumpster there, and like anything that's not sellable goes in the dumpster. But I'm gonna tell you, like who
has to put that stuff in there? You gotta hire somebody.
His guys do it.
Oh, he does. Oh, okay.
In other words, they sort through like this is sellable, this is not. This is sellable. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, there's some stuff. We bought a house recently. We just did with Shannon. We bought it up in Floyd, up in your neck of the woods, and I was a little surprised because I went to the auction. One, because my kids love auction, and
they bid on stuff. They hold up the paddle.
Oh, they enjoy bidding on stuff.
Okay.
Like DJ and a pocket knife, just like
are you like, dude? No, $500 is too much. Put your paddle down.
Well, that's my problem because like somebody starts beating me, I'm like, oh no, I want that. And then some stuff I'm like, why'd I buy that? But anyway, DJ did bid against himself a couple times, so I have to teach him like have some patience. But anyway, no, there were like Carhartt jackets there. Like I mean, Carhartt's good stuff, stuff. But these things were going for $100. And I would have just, like, who wants a jacket? I would have just donated it to the Goodwill.
Yeah.
But they were going for $100 a jacket for Carhartt jackets. So I was like, and so like
David's like, I'm going through my house, see what I can sell.
No joke. I mean, the last one we did, when we bought it, we bought everything. And so they didn't want to deal with the auction. They just wanted, like, here's the keys, give us checks. We bought everything. We bought motorcycles. We bought trailer. We bought tools, toolboxes. We bought everything. We bought it lock, stock, and barrel. Beds, clothes, toilet paper, everything came with it.
And you can call me to come look at the motorcycles?
You wouldn't want a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
One was a 1978. Yamaha. One was like a 1992. Honda.
I don't know, man. Those may be worth some.
No, we still can't get the Honda to run. It's at a shop. I mean, they're probably $1,500, $2,000 motorcycles. But, we bought everything. And it's just, what do you need to make it easy? We're running a business. We're going to sell it. We're going to buy it. We're going to fix it. We're going to sell it. We need to make money. How can we help you? And let's just work it out.
Yeah.
It's not like a set formula per se. Jay and I met right before I came over here, and someone approached us about a house, and it's in a really good neighborhood, and it needs a lot of work. Like, when I say it needs a lot of work, it needs HVAC, it needs a roof, it needs new siding, it needs windows, it needs flooring upstairs, downstairs, it needs a kitchen, it needs
everything.
Both bath. Yeah, it needs about $100,000.
Okay.
And so what will it be worth fixed up? $300,000. What's it worth today? Not $300,000. Because it needs $100,000 worth of work.
Yeah.
And let's be clear, when I say it needs $100,000 worth of work, that's my prices. If you because you got me, but if the normal person goes to the same vendors, it's probably going to cost them $125,000, $130,000. And it's just because I'm using them every single week.
Yeah, I'm
using them every single week.
Yeah.
Right. And so, it needs $100,000 worth of work. So what's bad is you have, family and those neighbors saying, oh, that house is worth $300,000. It could be. It's not. It's not. The neighborhood would really like it to be.
Yeah.
But it needs a lot of. We budgeted on this house $2,500 just to clean the yard. Just that much. It's probably 2 roll-off dumpsters and probably 3 or 4 days of human beings out there loading junk.
An old school bus up on the blocks and.
No, it's not that. It's just junk. A hoarder lived there.
Yeah.
Just hoarder lived there. And so when somebody inherits it, they're like, it's just, they already lost somebody. And usually it's a hoarder. It wasn't a good situation because there's usually a decrease in mental capacity and whatnot. And so it just sucks. And then it sucks. And then you just handed me a whole bunch more suck to deal with. And we are a viable solution to, you don't have to deal with all the suck,
Do you have people that come to you afterwards and go, thank you for helping us with this?
Yeah.
I think it could be gratifying.
We got a lot of 5-star reviews on the Damon Buys Houses. Like, go look at our Google page. We have actual 5-star reviews, and people are like, oh, you're paying less than market value. No, we're not. We're paying market value, but you got to understand, market value is not what the house is worth as repaired. We bought one 2 weeks ago that the family was offering. I can't remember. I think the family was offering $100,000 for the house, and like multiple family members, we'll give you $120,000. Like, and then of course one of the families, well, I'd have given you more. Well, why didn't you?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to screw mom?
Yeah,
what are you doing? It's like, so we're just trying to be solution based, and like, how can we work together? We have to buy it, pay for it, pay to maintain it. Like, there's a holding cost involved, and then sell it and make a profit. But as long as everybody can work together, it's a viable thing for people. It helps.
Is there a cap? How long are you going to buy a home? Do you just buy them and flip them, or buy them and rent them? And is there an end? Are you trying to be like real estate mogul? What are you doing? You're already that in this market.
I'm probably technically a real estate mogul, but what am I trying to do? I got an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old, and I make enough money on my day job to pay my bills. But with AI and everything changing
what's
in
your
this
day
world,
job? Just kidding.
Ask me what part of the day it is.
Right.
I'm trying to establish something that my kids can inherit and not have to grow up like I grew up, and not have to work to the degree that I work. Now I enjoy working, but I'm 54 and I got an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old, so I foresee myself working the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
But also helping them. Do they, can you tell, do they have a passion for the real estate business yet? Do you know, I see DJ in an excavator going.
They say they do, but DJ's so I do own a land management company where we do all kinds of land clearing and putting in driveways and roads and building paths and ponds and whatnot. Josh McNeil and I have that together, and DJ's going to be right over there. If DJ has his druthers, he's going to be in a skid steer or bulldozer or something like that.
You do driveways?
We don't put in driveways. We excavate for them.
Oh, gotcha.
And then, if you're going to get a driveway, driveway.
Can you buy an asphalt company so you can come do my driveway, please?
Look, I'm going to tell you once and only once. If you get a driveway, call CJ's. Period. Point blank.
Okay.
Nobody else. You call anybody else, you're making a mistake.
CJ's?
CJ's.
TJ's.
CJ's.
CJ's. All right. Out of where? Roanoke, Salem, what?
Out of Boone's Mill.
Boone's Mill. Okay.
Like there's nobody better. Period.
Better as far as quality or cost or?
So look, when you look at cost, the only time you look at cost is when there is an absence of value. Okay. So if you want a cheap driveway that you will be replacing in 4 to 5 years, I can give you several names for that driveway. If you want a good driveway, you call CJ.
CJ should give you some money if he...
CJ's never given me a dime in my life, and believe me, he charged me when he does work for me.
No, I know.
But CJ, and no, I'm glad you bring that up because a lot of people think, oh, well, you mentioned them because they do this. Like CJ, I can promise you this. CJ's never cut me a deal. CJ doesn't have to.
Yeah.
CJ's got a lot of business. He does a lot of stuff at the lake. He's good. He's good.
Yeah, that's what I need. I'm of the mindset that you pay what you get. You know, you get what you pay for, and that is the more you pay, the better the quality is going to be.
For the most part. I mean, there's some people that price gouge, but I'll give you an example. When I built the man cave behind my house here in Roanoke, the company that did the man cave, which I won't mention them, because I would not recommend them.
Yeah.
I was out of town. I had a camera on it, and I watched them doing a cold pour on my asphalt. Like I watched them pouring it in sections over a day and a half, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" I was trying to call and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And then when I got home, like the driveway was in sections, and I was like, "No!" And I actually kicked the contractor off the job. I was like, "Just don't come back. Just stop." Well, within 6 months, my driveway was popping up. And so James Edwards, who owns Groundscapes, a friend of mine, and if you need hardscaping, James Edwards, he doesn't give you a discount either. But he told me to call CJ. And I'd met CJ in hunting camp once in Iowa. So I knew who he was. I didn't really know what he did. So I called him out there and he looked at it and they pulled my driveway up and like there was no base under my driveway. So, so asphalt moves. It flexes, it moves, it gets hot, whatever. You have to have a good base of rock under it so that it can spring back and whatnot. So there's no rock under mine. Mine was directly on mud. And so as the mud got wet and started to eke out, the driveway just failed.
Yeah, and what was the aggregate they used to put under there that was bad and you'd have to like completely dig it up?
Asbestos.
Was it asbestos? Yeah. Or was it?
No.
Shale? Not shale. What was it called? There was something that was bad. The base was bad. So they had to dig it completely up and put new aggregate.
I can tell you mud's bad.
Yeah, for
mud's
sure.
bad.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you know all about that too.
All about it.
So,
and then I had another company before CJ's do my right driveway. I can show you pictures of that one. And after CJ come out and replace that one too.
So not only will Damon list your home or make you a cash offer, but he can recommend the right person for the job. Because you want to mention your other businesses? What else are you into? Just we got a couple minutes here. What else you got?
Well, those window guys.
Those window guys. Yep.
I bought them.
How's that doing?
3 years ago. Doing well. Got good people there. So back to what we started the show with. I have good people. And none of my businesses, I own businesses, but none of my businesses are good because of me. They're good because I have good people. You know, Tim does the sales at those window guys. Tim Gettier is my brother. He does a good job at that. Mario has been working for those window guys for I think 18 years.
Yeah, you were bragging about him to me.
Yeah, Mario, and then Avery's been there.
And Tim.
15, 16 years.
Yeah.
And Mario and Avery, like, I don't care nobody's putting in better windows than those guys. And we sell good windows. Like I say that, and it was accidental when I bought the company. They had a window supplier that is a good supplier. It's a great window, and they install them. It does a great job. Those roofing guys, roofing company I own with buddy of mine, which is Randall Jenkins. He and I own that together. We install roofs. We don't screw people over. We do a good job. We do a fair. We only install roofing systems, though. So we don't do any hack jobs. We don't do roof overs, like layovers, old roofs and everything, because it's not going to last. It's not going to do good. We sell total roofing systems, which means we do the felt, we do the drip edge, we do the boots, we do the roof. We don't cut corners. And if you want to cut corners, that's fine. We're just not your guy. And we're not any more expensive than anybody else. We just do a complete job. You know, my insurance people, I own that and have CF Hogue does that. CF's got crap ton of experience doing insurance.
Yeah, he's my guy. You turned me on to him, and I used CF.
He's just good.
He's great.
I mean, like, he's just good.
And he's a quality human being. He's a good person.
He is. He's a Christian. He, believes in God. He believes in, doing to others you want them doing to you. He's worked at the lake for a long time in a family business, and he branched out. And, he and I have a thing. It's called My Insurance People. CF does a great job. I have a rental management company where we manage rentals. It's what is it called? 540 Rentals, 540 Rentals. I have Land Management in Virginia. I already talked about that one. Again, own that one with Josh McNeely. Great guy. Great guy. Like he's kind of like what DJ's. He was on a piece of equipment when he was 8 years old, and he's 26, 27 years old now, and he's been on a piece of equipment for 19, 20 years. Like I get on a piece of equipment and I think I'm good, and then he gets on, I just step away. Like I don't even want to be on it around him because he's just that good at it.
You got a lot going on, dude. If you need any of the above, you can still reach out to listwithdamon.com. They'll point you in the right direction. Go to listwithdamon, DAMON.com.